when LT, the most fearsome, dominating linebacker of all time, who used to be triple team, the same man who would command triple teams up the wazoo, that same LT, the most fearsome, dominating, foamy linebacker of all time. When that LT comes out in support of Trump, it means Karen should look over her shoulder pads too. Can I get a holla for old school? Love Podcast, where first loves never die. Right to be pissed. Holla! Thank you very much. Hulk Hogan, the Hulkster, gives a speech at the Republican National Convention, and Stone Cold posts a quote by Nelson Mandela on Instagram. Woke heck, please! You're worse than Emmy Lou. Right to be pissed. Holla! Thank you very much. Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, fucking Adderall boy. All getting their panties in a bunch. How could you use a bunch of racists? Blah, blah, blah. You're all dead weight conversationalists. Pass the bar bag, please. You're worse than fucking anyone on LinkedIn. Right to be pissed. Holla! Thank you very much. Ben Stiller. According to Ben Stiller, watch out, Snopes, he's on your tail. Holla! According to Ben Stiller, every white Jewish kid growing up wants to be black. Did Paul Simon ever sound wannabe wiggerish to you, Ben? Is Justin Bieber Jewish? Is Heineken sponsoring his next tour? Heineken, the aspirational Wigger beer of choice. I'm bringing Wigger back. Holla! Right to be pissed. Thank you very much. How can any self-respecting gay man still be a fan of Kathy Griffin? Trans Chucky killed off fashion police faster than it took Juno to slice off her tits. Right to be pissed. Holla! Not that I ever wanted to titty fuck June in the first place, but you get the gist. Holla! Thank you very much. If Google, good intention, good and trodden Google, if Google doesn't manipulate search results, then why is it harder to find negative mentions of Kamala Harris and all of her camel humper supporters? Why is it harder? If Google, if purely embedded good Google doesn't manipulate search results, then why is it harder to find negative mentions of Camel Toe Harris compared to finding a film blogger on Rotten Tomatoes who called The Irishman underrated? Right to be pissed. Holla! Suck on it and weep, big tech censoring scumbags. Holla! Thank you very much. Historic candidate? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Big lives. Holla! Historic candidate. Is Kamala aborting babies on the campaign trail? Is she blowing shotguns of chronic into babies out of the womb in Oaktown? I don't get it. I don't get it. Right to be pissed. Holla! Historic my balls. Thank you very much. I mean, historic in the sense that she was able to not poop out while playing a game of Pick the Clit with Madonna while on vacation at St. Bart's. Holla! Right to be pissed. Thank you very much. Bicyclist. Bicyclists are the worst kind of elitist. They act like the entire road belongs to them while making jokes about Bronny James. Bronny Bonbons from Bel Air saying, Bronny Bonbons from Bel Air should have stuck to taking saline shots like Klaus Schwab. I guess Bronny Bonbons from Bel Air isn't as elite as he thinks. Right to be pissed. Holla! I love how this is coming together. Thank you very much. I love Canada. Not because of what they did to the truckers. I still miss out on a golden opportunity during that rally. Could have made a fortune selling bumper stickers that said, COVID damage done. Resist this young. Holla! Right to be pissed. Thank you very much. Now, the reason why I love Canada is because of the Hall of Fame Wrestling Hart family. Because one day, Stu Hart, the patriarch of the Hart family, that includes Bret the Hitman Hart and Owen, the youngest. I love Canada because of the Wrestling Hart family. Because one day, Stu Hart, the patriarch, founding father of the dungeon, because one day Stu Hart, the patriarch of the Hart family, said, you know what, dear? We have to bang out one more kid than Bobby Kennedy did, because we're the Canadian fucking Camelot. Holla! Right to be pissed. Thank you very much. My father identifies with being Indian American because growing up in the Bronx, kids in the neighborhood called him Trips on Curbs. Right to be pissed. Holla! For failing the Putsy Cup of Truth. Thank you very much. Kamala! The Ugandan camel toe Harris. Kamala, the Ugandan giant camel toe Harris, is running a perfect campaign. Did she do a Google commercial singing, I'm going to run this town tonight? Perfect campaign. Just vote for Beyonce's less talented sister, all right? Perfect campaign. You'd think she orchestrated more come from behind victories than Eli Manning. Then again, Kamala is the master of the 2-minute drill. Eli for President. Holla! Ruined Brady's shot at a perfect season. And he married his high school sweetheart. And he was never involved in a Deflategate scandal. And he had the good sense to never marry Giselle, because she's still 80 in model years, and her uppity lisp never won her any popularity contest over Tyra Banks. Eli for President. Holla! Right to be pissed. Except if you're Eli Manning. Thank you very much. So I'm in Mount Kisco. I dropped off my book, Just Red Pilled. It's a 2-hour comedy special full of jokes, sketches, poems about American culture, wrecked relationships today, post-COVID damage done. And it's a comedic monster special. Would have given Walt Whitman sustained stiffage, most patriotic book ever written. But it's definitely MAGA country minded because I essentially shit on everything that the left proclaims to be true that's not, such as like the COVID vax lessening symptoms and working less than Russell Westbrook when the triangle offense. So I talk about the deadly vaccine. I talk about election fraud and everything else that the diehard left holds sacred, especially that hips is for Hamas crowd. So, and this is Mount Kisco. So this is like upper echelon Westchester County. Uh, they represent the height of condescension, perplexion. So I drop off my book there. So, oh yeah, I like to evaluate different point of views because we support indie writers. And I come back because after the failed assassination attempt. So and like everyone has to pretend that and then you want to make them stutter, be like, so what's one significant reason why you support Kamala Harris? And so they realize that their entire life is like built on a lie, and they know democracy is dead, but and they know that they never backed the heartbeat hoe. So anyway, so I go to pick up my book because I know he's not going to sell it there, and just to indulge myself, I said, so what do you think of the book? And he says, yeah, it's not our bookstore's audience. And I say, you mean those who call Antifa an idea? Like a Jewish homeland or Brittany Griner's birthing people? Whole right to be pissed. Holla! Boom shakalaka. Thank you very much. Those same godless cunts who openly support the open borders rape enablement party, no matter how many pubescent dicks get hacked off in between, right to be pissed. Holla! Especially in this case, thank you very much. The same audience who acts like democracy in our country is alive and well. You're all the same Obama lickers, Biden enablers. I'm talking to you, White House trash hoe. You're all the same Obama lickers, Biden enablers, camel toe humpers, or as Hillary Hammer Time Cankles would say, what's the difference? Condescension, perplexion, holla, right to be pissed. Thank you very much. Reserve the right to be pissed, or you cease to exist. Shall Silverstein, I fucked him. I can't take no more. Hate speech today is highly successful smack talk. Admit it. LinkedIn losers, holla! Right to be pissed. Thank you very much. Never let anyone minimize your hurt. That's what your mother's for. Never let anyone minimize your hurt. I'm petty. We weren't that close to begin with. Got it. Holla! Right to be pissed. Thank you very much. If someone disappoints you, love them anyway. How about less? Deal? Right to be pissed. Holla! A friend plays with you. A friend shares with you. A friend doesn't hit you with, you're a moronic loony for believing that. That's what Bill Maher is for, or your brother-in-law, or your extended family, excluding your children. Holla! Right to be pissed. Thank you very much. I agree. At best, friendship makes you feel valued and supported. At worst, its absence makes you feel undervalued and grossly overlooked. Happiness is turning your kids on with your imagination. Charles Silverstein, we're going for round two. Rubba dub dub George! Lockjaw love. Holla! Charles Silverstein loves. Thank you very much. How do you build a social brain? Avoid time release Adderall. Chuck that fucking speed demon out of your fucking head. It will steal your emotionally involved presence away. Holla! Right to be pissed. Recapturing lost time. Thank you very much. Social status is where our stress comes from. I thought stress comes from unrecognized genius and failure to capitalize on it yet. My bad. Holla! Right to be pissed. Thank you very much. What motivates us to make new connections? Rejecting breadcrumbs of affection. We're batting for the fucking cycle today. Come over here, show. We're gonna go for round 3. Going, gone. Mr. October and August. Holla! Feed the hot hand. You can only hope to contain them, folks. Holla! Right to be pushed. Thank you very much. How do we minimize hostilities that suck us dry? Avoid condescending people who, without their sense of superiority, would be always feel compelled to constantly cry. Holla! How do we minimize hostilities that suck us dry? Avoid giving your time to alleged podcast personalities. Holla! Just only listen to like Ric Flair on YouTube. Thank you very much. Negative relationships make us feel bad because we allowed them to persist in the first place. Don't you agree with me, Mace? Holla! Alexa, play a song by Mace. Da 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 da. Yeah, I still don't know what you sang. But let's kick it old school. Can I get a holla for old school Mace? Gen X dads understand. Holla! Good for Mace finding God. Still a holla for finding God. Holla! Well, I take a sip out of this holy diet Dr. Brown black cherry. Tastes like black cherry. Holla! Thank you very much. What have monkeys taught us about friendship? Enthusiasm is contagious. Don't bottle it up. It's our most precious commodity after crude oil, of course. And this is what I get for like trying to be, I'm gonna pretend that like I'm a thought leader on LinkedIn and then like do a joke because I don't want to be that guy. I'd rather make fun of like pure evil. And this you came up with, but I still think it's a funny surprise ending. And crude oil does power the world around us. And I think jalopy looking Teslas are fucking ugly. Musk, you come out with one that says on the form of a bumper sticker, baby boomer arrogance never dies. You got my money. Holla! Right to be pissed. Thank you very much. Whose company do you yearn for exactly? Mark Cuban? So don't hate yourself completely today. Remember, baby boomer arrogance never dies. Holla! Right to be pissed at the arrogance never dying part. Thank you very much. So, Professor Caputo, I'm butchering his name, but I don't want to butcher it while I try to enunciate it right the first time. He says, loneliness and the feeling of being unwanted, is the most terrible poverty. So avoid job boards, pick up the phone, and tell someone in talent acquisition you're a better match maker than them. Holla! You're feeling a little bit less lonely already. Admit it. Right to be pissed. Holla! Thank you very much. This is the Old School Love Podcast, where first loves never die. So, what is the first love that I'm talking about today? I'm going with the New York Giants. Although it is fact that they are headquartered, they do play their games in right outside of Anthony Bourdain's hometown. Holla! Anthony Bourdain forevermore! Thank you very much. I remember Joe Morris, Otis Anderson, Phil McConkey, Mark Bavaro, Harry Carson, Carl Banks, Phil Simms, Bill Parcells, Dave Maggot. Those were the days. And I watch Inside the NFL back then, the sports reporters, Roy Firestone. Football was part of my life. I didn't play. I had this neck surgery as a kid, so my parents were protective, allegedly. So that my brother played instead of me, which helped cement their love bond. And so it's really comical that starting the day after Labor Day, I'm going to be the director of sales of an indoor football team called the Danbury Knight Riders. We're going to be kicking it old school. And I'm going to be responsible for selling season tickets, corporate sponsorships, and the goal of the company is for it to become the most profitable, scalable indoor football league of all time. And it's faster, it's more hard hitting. There's no field goals, there's no punting. I think it's like 7-on-7. I could be screwing up the numbers. I don't need to be a complete master of the pitch just yet. But Andre Reed is the commissioner. So as I've already made it clear, all my sports references are more dated than Yiddish. So the fact that Andre Reed is involved in this and it's called the freaking Knight Riders, you could say that this was meant to be. So similar to how Rocky in Rocky 2 is constantly thanking God, I'm going to thank, like, especially after Adrian came out of the coma, Lord, thank you so much for hooking me up with this job. I know it doesn't pay a lot, but it's going to be so much fun. And thank you for liberating me from the chains of freaking IT recruiting. I am making the most of this, and my future boss, meaning once I start working there officially, Tommy, we talked about hooking me up with like emceeing opportunities. So what's better, me emceeing an event at a freaking hockey rink in Danbury with thousands of people, or me schlepping to the Lower East Side to sample jokes on a couple millennial Mouseketeers? Right to be pissed. Holla! But not today. Not that much. Because I've been fired more than a Palestinian slingshot. Mainly because these IT recruiter jobs, I've always resented them. I've always hated making money off other people. And I've never felt good about myself doing it. Things I've sabotaged myself a little bit with the drinking, the smoking, the weed in between. I've had some bad breaks, but screwed out of some commissions. But you're in charge of your attitude. Something I learned from Evil Knievel. Something that Lincoln said too. So, I am making this work. I mean, this is my year without Goonish. I've got like 17,000 words done, all written down for my rough outline for the Gum King in New York. So I've negotiated, or I'll be able to finish writing it this month. Wasn't part of my contract, but I'm starting on freaking Labor Day. So it's beautiful. Pressure creates diamonds. I'm going to write a short story a week. And those short stories I'm going to be performing on this podcast. And then I'm also going to be bringing back other elements which I have not been doing lately, such as Trading Records Day and such as Card History Appreciation Day. So I'm really excited about that. And, I was on the fence about what to call this podcast today. Do I call it Eli for President? Because I remember when, like it was yesterday, when the Giants won that Super Bowl, and I was yelling. I was with my girlfriend, so my wife, mother of my three kids, and my financial benefactor. And and I was yelling out the streets of Brooklyn, Eli for president, Eli for president. He was miraculous. And seeing his older brother pump his arm up in the skybox when he did that 2-minute drill, that was a thing of beauty. I feel like Mick watching him. First time was beautiful. You gotta go with this guy hard. Holla! So I'm excited to get involved in sports outside of like playing basketball with my kids. And it's gonna be great to get out of the freaking house. And I was listening to, so I hosted a podcast before this that was the greatest open mic on earth. And it's called the Do It All Dad Year podcast. It's on Spotify. We're talking 750 episodes. I have like 140 plus comedy records. I was listening to an old one today called Year Without Beer. This is my year without Goonish. I did a year without beer. This year without Goonish, meaning nothing, meaning no Adderall, edibles, no drinking at all. So I like to believe that God is rewarding me for my hard work. And also just saying, hey, kiddo, I know you got some friends and they care about you, but texting jokes and doing your podcast is great, everything, but you need to get out in the real world. You need to make more real life connections and you need to make new friends that can appreciate the new and improve you. So I'm really excited about that development. And I want to thank God again for giving it to me. But this is the Old School Love podcast where first loves never die. And, that first love here is, also, it's, look, sales made me the man that I am today. I talk on my stutter. I'm the only schmuck in a headset to graduate from a top communication school with a stutter, that being Ithaca. So I can't wait to be a successful salesman. It's a director position. I'm not another fucking schmucky lawyer. And I'm going to get short stories published this year. I'm super pumped. So now you know my direction in life moving forward. And so, like the flurry of jokes that you guys heard, I enjoyed showcasing them. They're fresh off the press. Aren't you blessed? But moving forward, podcast going to be a little more conversational, but there will be performed written material too in the form of short stories, and also comedian medium. I'm going to be interviewing dead people that I admire, such as Joan Rivers and Evel Knievel. So that's something to look forward to too. So this is the Old School Love podcast, where first loves never die. Danbury Night Riders is my future, and I couldn't be more excited about it. And I'll start watching some David Hasselhoff, like roast material, so I could come up with some good one-liners there. But like, I don't remember like my father pushing the Giants on me. It was just something that I just became a fan. You're a New Yorker, you become a Giants fan. Although I was from Queens, so like I should have been a Jets fan because I grew up in Queens, but it didn't work out that way. But being a Giants fan has been cool because every Super Bowl that we've won, we've always been underdogs, and that's been great. So, and I'm this year, as much as how much the NBA disgusts me today, every time I wear my throwback Marcus Camby jersey, I'd be like, dude, those Knicks, like every Knick fan, it's like everyone's stuck in a freaking time machine. Everyone is a believer. They have like a glint in their eye again. So, really excited about accentuating that glint. And I'm definitely going to get all the money. I'm definitely going to get the MSG feed this year and watch those Knicks. So, Lord, thanks for the opportunity to accentuate that glint in my eye. Thanks for the opportunity to relive my age of innocence again. Thanks for this old school love podcast, and thanks for the opportunity to accentuate the glint in my children's eyes and to share my first loves with them. Thank you for that opportunity, Lord, very, very much.